Your dog may love you deeply and still feel unsafe around you sometimes. Not because you are a bad owner, not because your dog does not trust you, but because dogs experience safety differently than humans do. A raised voice you forget 5 minutes later may stay in your dog's nervous system much longer. A hug that feels loving to you may feel like being trapped. Even changing a small household rule can make your dog wonder what will happen next. And here is the difficult part. Many of the things that make dogs feel unsafe are done with good intentions. Today we are going through 7 everyday things you may be doing that quietly increase your dog's stress. You will also learn what to do instead without guilt, force, or complicated training methods. Stay until the final one because it is one of the most common mistakes loving dog owners make, and it can affect how secure your dog feels every single day. Welcome to DogNuro, your home for understanding the hidden emotions, instincts, and behaviors of your best friend. If you want calm, science-backed guides that help you build a deeper bond with your dog, consider subscribing. Number 1. Being unpredictable with rules. One day your dog is allowed on the sofa. The next day you tell them to get down. Sometimes you laugh when they jump up to greet you. But when you are wearing clean clothes, you become frustrated and push them away. To a human, this makes sense. The situation has changed. But your dog may not understand the invisible reason behind that change. Dogs learn through patterns, repetition, and consequences. When the same behavior produces affection one day and anger the next, your dog may become uncertain. And uncertainty is one of the foundations of anxiety. Think of it like walking through a room where the floor sometimes collapses, but you never know which step will cause it. You may still enter the room, but your body will remain alert. Your dog may respond by hesitating, moving slowly, lowering their body, licking their lips, or watching your face before doing something they normally enjoy. This does not mean your dog is being stubborn. They may simply be asking, which version of the rule applies right now? You can help by making household rules as consistent as possible. Decide what is allowed, use the same cues, and ask everyone in the home to respond in a similar way. When exceptions are necessary, guide your dog calmly instead of treating the mistake like disobedience. Predictability does not make life boring for a dog. It makes life understandable, and the next mistake creates the opposite feeling, because it can make your dog believe that your emotions are dangerous. Number 2, using anger to stop unwanted behavior. Your dog steals something from the floor, they bark at the window, they have an accident indoors, and before you can think, your voice becomes louder. Many owners believe a strong reaction teaches the dog that the behavior was wrong, but dogs do not understand moral guilt in the same way humans do. They are more likely to connect your anger with whatever is happening in that exact moment. This is why scolding a dog after discovering an old accident is usually ineffective. Your dog may react to your tone, posture, or facial expression, but they may not understand what action caused your anger. That so-called guilty look, the lowered head, tucked body, turned away eyes, often reflects appeasement or fear of conflict rather than an admission of wrongdoing. Research on dog training and welfare has repeatedly raised concerns about punishment-based methods, especially when they involve intimidation, pain, or unpredictable corrections. These methods can suppress behavior temporarily, but they may also increase stress and weaken trust. Imagine being shouted at in a language you do not understand. You would know someone was angry, but you might not know how to prevent it from happening again. Instead of focusing only on stopping the behavior, ask what your dog should do in its place. If they jump, reward 4 paws on the floor. If they steal objects, teach drop it through trading. If they bark at the window, reduce access to the trigger and reward calm attention. Training becomes clearer when your dog is shown the correct answer, and clarity creates safety. Have you ever noticed your dog lowering their body or leaving the room when someone's voice gets louder? Comment your dog's name and the signal you notice most. Because the next behavior looks like affection, but for many dogs, it can feel like losing control. Number 3, forcing physical affection. Humans hug to show love. We hold each other tightly. We lean close. We kiss faces. But dogs did not evolve to use hugs in the same way. Some dogs learn to enjoy being held by familiar people, others tolerate it because they trust us, and some feel trapped, even when they remain completely still. Stillness is important. Owners often assume a dog is comfortable because the dog is not struggling, but freezing can also be a stress response. Watch for signs such as turning the head away, showing the whites of the eyes, closing the mouth suddenly, licking the lips, lowering the ears, yawning, or trying to move away. These signals can be subtle because dogs often communicate discomfort before they growl, and when those early signals are repeatedly ignored, the dog may eventually feel that stronger communication is necessary. Think of it like someone continuing to touch you after you politely move away. The problem is not always the touch itself. The problem is having no choice. Try a simple consent test. Pet your dog gently for a few seconds, then stop. If your dog moves closer, nudges your hand, or remains relaxed and asks for more, continue. If they turn away, walk off, tense their body, or begin grooming themselves, give them space. Allowing your dog to choose affection does not weaken your bond. It tells them that you listen, and a dog who knows they can leave often becomes more comfortable staying. But physical contact is not the only situation where dogs need a sense of control. Number 4, taking things away without warning. Your dog has a toy, a chew, or something they found interesting. You reach down and pull it from their mouth. You may be protecting them. The object could be dangerous. But if this happens repeatedly, your dog may learn that human hands approaching valuable items mean loss. That can create tension around food, toys, beds, or stolen objects. Some dogs begin running away with items. Others swallow things quickly. Some freeze or growl when a person approaches. This is often described as resource guarding. It is not necessarily a sign that your dog wants to dominate you. It is usually connected to the fear of losing something valuable. Imagine eating dinner while someone repeatedly removes your plate without explanation. Eventually, you might eat faster or protect it. Teach your dog that your approach predicts something good. Walk past while they are eating and gently toss a high-value treat from a safe distance. Practice trading low-value toys for better rewards. Teach drop it when there is no emergency, so the cue already has a positive history when you truly need it. Never punish a growl. A growl is information. It tells you the dog is uncomfortable before the situation becomes more serious. Respect the warning. Create distance. And seek help from a qualified force-free trainer or veterinary behavior professional if guarding is frequent or intense. The next mistake is especially common with nervous dogs, because owners often believe they are helping their dog become brave. Number 5. Forcing your dog to face a fear. Your dog is afraid of strangers, loud traffic, grooming tools, other dogs, or unfamiliar places, so you bring them closer. You think, they need to see that nothing bad will happen. Sometimes gentle exposure does help, but only when the dog remains calm enough to learn. When exposure is too intense, too close, or too long, the dog may become overwhelmed. Behavior professionals sometimes call this flooding. A flooded dog is not learning that the situation is safe. They may simply be learning that escape is impossible. Think of someone trying to cure your fear of deep water by pushing you into the ocean. Even if you survive, you may not feel safer around water afterward. The more effective approach is gradual desensitization, often combined with positive associations. If your dog is worried about strangers, begin at a distance where they can notice the person without barking, freezing, or trying to flee. Reward calm observation, then leave before your dog becomes overwhelmed. Progress may look slow from the outside, but the nervous system learns through safe repetitions, not dramatic confrontations. Watch your dog's body, not just the behavior you want to stop. A dog who is quiet may still be frightened. And this next one is closely connected, because sometimes the environment remains overwhelming even after the trigger is gone. Number 6. Not giving your dog a protected place to rest. Dogs need sleep, not just lying on the floor with one eye open, but deep, uninterrupted rest. If children climb on your dog while they are sleeping, visitors constantly approach their bed, or the dog is followed every time they move away, they may feel that there is nowhere to fully relax. Rest is when the nervous system recovers. Without enough quality sleep, dogs may become more irritable, reactive, restless, or sensitive to touch and noise. Your dog's bed, crate, or chosen resting area should function like a private room. It should not be used as punishment. And when your dog goes there, family members should allow them to decompress. This is especially important for puppies, senior dogs, rescue dogs, and dogs living in busy homes. Think of their safe space like a phone charger. Your dog may still function without enough rest, but their emotional battery keeps getting lower. Create a quiet area away from heavy foot traffic. Teach children not to disturb the dog while they are eating or sleeping. Let your dog move away from social interaction without being followed. A dog who retreats is not rejecting the family. They may be regulating themselves in a healthy way. And now we come to the final mistake. It is quiet. It happens every day. And because it often looks harmless, many owners never realize how much it affects their dog. Number 7. Ignoring the small signs of discomfort. Most dogs do not begin with a bite. They begin with a whisper. They turn their head away. They lick their lips. They suddenly close their mouth. They lift one paw. They shake off when they are not wet. They sniff the ground during a tense interaction. They move behind you, leave the room, or become unusually still. These signals do not always mean fear. Context matters. A dog may yawn because they are tired or lick their lips because food is nearby. But when several signals appear together, especially during handling, social pressure, or exposure to something unfamiliar, they may show that your dog is struggling. The danger comes when people notice only the final reaction. They say the dog snapped without warning, but often the dog had been communicating for several minutes or even for several months in a language the humans around them did not recognize. Think of these signals like warning lights on a dashboard. The light is not the problem. It is information about what is happening underneath. When you notice discomfort, pause. Reduce the pressure, create distance. Ask yourself what changed in the environment. Was someone leaning over the dog? Was the room too loud? Was your dog cornered? Are they tired, in pain, or unable to escape? Sudden behavior changes can sometimes be connected to physical discomfort. So a veterinary check is important when a normally relaxed dog becomes unusually defensive, withdrawn, or sensitive. Learning these signals does not mean becoming afraid of your dog. It means becoming fluent in them. Because safety is not created by controlling every behavior. It is created through consistency, through calm guidance, through allowing choices when choices are possible, through respecting the quiet no so your dog never feels forced to shout. Your dog does not need you to be perfect. They need you to be predictable. They need to know that your hands are safe, your voice provides guidance, their resting place will be respected, and their communication will be heard. Every time you pause instead of punishing, every time you trade instead of grabbing, every time you notice a turned head, a tense body, or a request for space, you teach your dog something powerful. You teach them that they do not have to defend themselves from the person they love. Your dog is not behaving randomly. They are responding to the world through instinct, experience, emotion, and learning. And when you begin to understand that language, you stop being only the person who feeds them or walks them. You become the safe place they can return to. If this helped you understand your dog a little better, like this video and subscribe to DogNuro for more science-backed dog psychology, and comment your dog's name below, because I would love to know who you are learning this for.